Around 99% of your calcium is stored in your bones or your teeth. The other 1% is either in your blood or different soft tissues. So you can imagine if you are deficient in this one mineral, that you're probably going to have weak bones and weak teeth, because where else are you going to get the calcium from? It's going to have to draw it out of those bones and teeth. Now, we have an abundance of foods that are high in calcium, so we should definitely be getting enough in our diet, right? Well, that's not the case. And a lot of people are actually calcium deficient. One study was showing that only 10% of teenage girls are getting enough calcium. And the other numbers for other kids are not so great either. Now, we know that calcium is crucial for maintaining healthy bones and teeth, but it's also important for other functions as well. Your body needs calcium so that your muscles can move. And you also need calcium so that your nerves can carry messages from your brain to other parts of your body. And calcium is also important for your blood vessels, and it helps transport blood throughout the body. So adults are recommended to get about 1,000 milligrams of calcium a day, or 1 gram. Now, you're gonna need a little bit more if you are either a geriatric person or a teenager. Now, that part's pretty self-explanatory, right? Because when you're a teenager, your body's still growing, your bones are still developing, so you're gonna need more calcium. And the same is true as you get older, but kind of in reverse, because after the age of about 30, your bones start losing calcium. And the older that you get, the faster that this process of losing calcium speeds up. So you're gonna need more as you get older. And this is also why you're more likely to break a bone as you get older. I know, getting old sucks, right? Now, having low levels of calcium is very dangerous, especially if you're already such a young person, because now you're gonna be at a much higher likelihood of having issues with your bones. So things like osteoporosis, rickets disease, osteomalacia, all of these things will cause weak and fragile bones. Now, there could be some other dangers of not having enough calcium. So some other studies were looking at other complications you can get if you do not have enough calcium. So some studies were looking at diets higher in calcium, and they saw that people who ate more calcium had a lower risk of getting different types of cancer, specifically colon and rectum cancer. Okay, I get it, calcium is important, so how do I get it in my diet? Well, we already know that we get a ton from dairy products. So milk, yogurt, and cheese are gonna be your best friend here. But we already know all that. What about other foods? So fish are also a great source of calcium. So one particular one I like is salmon. And also most cereals are actually fortified with calcium. So if you eat cereal every day, you're probably getting a lot of calcium from that. Now, I personally do not like cereal. I think there's a lot of unhealthy junk in there. So I would personally avoid it and try to get it from other food sources. But if you do eat cereal, just know that you're probably getting some calcium from that. Another great source of calcium is kale. Now, kale is a super easy food to eat because you can just toss it into your smoothies. And I know it doesn't taste too good, but when you toss it into a smoothie with other good ingredients, you won't really even taste it. Now, in a later video, I might go over some of my smoothie recipes because I do have a couple good ones. Now, if you're a vegan, you want to make sure you're getting enough calcium because a majority of people will get their calcium intake from dairy products. So another good non-dairy calcium source are beans and lentils. Both of these are very high in calcium and they're also very good for you. And my last food I'm going to throw out there is almonds. So just 1 ounce of almonds equates to about 6% of your daily value of calcium. So simply snacking on a handful of almonds a day can help you out a ton. Now, we know that a lot of other vitamins and a lot of other minerals are important for your body too. And if you're really interested in upping your calcium levels, then you also want to make sure you up your vitamin D as well. Because vitamin D is actually what helps your body absorb your calcium. So you can be getting a ton of calcium in your diet, but if you don't have enough vitamin D, you can still be deficient and still have weak bones. So what are some great sources of vitamin D? Well, the first one is obvious, right? Sunlight. When your skin is exposed to sun, it undergoes a process that actually produces vitamin D. And this is probably my favorite way of getting vitamin D because you don't have to eat anything and you can get it while you're like going on a walk or something. It's actually a very efficient process. But if you're in an area that does not get enough sunlight, or you're one of those weirdos that does not like going outside, just kidding, another food you can try adding is cod liver oil. Just 1 tablespoon of cod liver oil has enough vitamin D for your entire day's need. And you can also get vitamin D from different fish like trout and salmon, and also eggs, and also milk. Now, there are other foods that I did not mention that are also still high in either calcium or vitamin D. So I'm actually putting a couple links in the description below. So make sure you check those out if you want to go over the full list of different foods. And it also goes over how much is actually in that food. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked that video. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel below. And I will see you in the next video.